feel so vulnerable outside. I never thought I'd feel so vulnerable like this until maybe I was 85 years old, you know? Like, I'm so high risk for falls, and it's so slippery out here. It's just treacherous. And I come out here and I just seize up with tension. I fell the other night, a few days ago at home, and hurt my pelvic real bad. I have a big appointment today, doctor's appointment, in about an hour, and I'm just going for a walk prior, and I'm really scared. It's, I'll find out if my doctor has potentially gotten surgery for me. The answer is probably no. Please pray for me, because I can't go on like this without surgery. A trach. I want a trach. But also, like within the last 24 to 48 hours, I've convinced myself here that maybe I have some form of encephalitis. And like the personality changes, right? Look up the personality changes for encephalitis. Like drastic changes in me. And you know what? I used to pretty much like everybody in this world, and I pretty much hate everybody now. Like I hate everybody. This is so out of character for me. And you know, I generally didn't have problems with anybody. Most of my life, I didn't have problems with people. The doctors, actually, you know, I was nice and really, you know, an obedient patient and compliant and, you know, trusting and uneducated. That's like the perfect patient for a doctor, because you do what you want. As a doctor, you do what you want. You do the treatment plan, and your patient follows, right? Your patient follows your directions. But holy hell, like, I hate just about everybody now. And I say that in a medical way, that I have no control over this. This is not who I am. I remember 8 years ago, February 2017, sitting in front of a specialist who I really needed this guy's head to be screwed on straight. And I was in medical crisis, and I knew this guy was against me, and he made trouble for me. And I said to him, even while I was out of my mind, I said, so sleep deprived, had an hour and a half of sleep when I was sitting with him, and even out of my mind, I still had the wherewithal to say to him, this is not who I am. This is not who I am. I am so a different person. What you're seeing and hearing from me, this is not who I am. Like, I need medical help to go back to who I really am. And this guy just, there's some ugly people in this world. He had no comprehension, right? You know, I knew this loveliest man ever, and he was married, and he got cancer, and he was dying, and he was at home dying, and he had a good marriage. His wife, he always treated his wife with respect and stuff. So he's dying of cancer, and he's calling her a CUNT and a WHOR, and he's just an animal, so out of character, and accusing her of cheating, and the minute I die, you're gonna just all this ugly stuff would come out of his mouth. And because he was sick, because he was in pain, because he was losing his mind from the situation. And yeah, you can lose your mind from all different kinds of medical situations, but the greatest danger is when you're amidst doctors who are going to misdiagnose that as mentally ill. You think some a-hole doctor, do you think some doctor would be dumb enough to walk in there and misdiagnose him as bipolar or mentally ill? Well, all these rare diseases and rare conditions, I have 2 friends that were locked up in a psych ward with Chiari malformation until they were diagnosed. If you've got something rare going on, you're in grave danger around psychiatry, because it takes 2 seconds to misdiagnose you. And, that too is a fear. I have a really phenomenal doctor, and, I'm just so tired of it all. I feel like something, my brain is killing me. There's a movie, Brain on Fire. I wish I had Netflix so I could watch it. It's about a woman in crisis with encephalitis, and nobody can diagnose her, and they diagnose her with all these mental disorders. Another big a big thing with my life is that, there is trauma and loss, and that really messes with doctors' heads. They immediately, like, let's say if your husband died, well, no, she's got to be suffering from stress or depression, or the last thing they would think of is, oh, well, maybe she has encephalitis. Let's check for that. You know what I mean? Like, if you have legitimate life stressors, to a lot of doctors, that cancels out real disease. I have a good doctor, but I also know that when doctors get frustrated, or they feel like they've reached the end of the line, or they're exhausted, they can't figure things out, they'll defer you to psychiatry. And people who are in physical medical crisis are often at risk for psychiatric abuse or psychiatric, dangerous harm. I'll give you an example of that. How many minutes do I have here? Got 7 minutes, I think. I'll give you an example of how dangerous a psychiatrist could have killed me or brain damaged me. So I'm severely sleep deprived. I know I'm being misdiagnosed. All my actual medical issues are being misdiagnosed. The respiratory depression, the sleep apnea, the jaw issue, the narrow airway, everything's being misdiagnosed. And I'm going for a second opinion, a third opinion, a fourth opinion. They've already got me on loads of drugs, loads of respiratory depressants. I'm actually struggling to breathe from the drugs that they're giving me, but at the time, I'm not educated enough to understand that. I'm sleepwalking, I'm sleep eating. Those things are being misdiagnosed. Those were drug-induced. Severe insomnia, serious sleep apnea, and I'm trying to go for a second opinion, third opinion, fourth opinion. I go to see this psychiatrist. Big, warm, welcoming smile. Extremely charismatic. And I'm trying to determine either this guy is the loveliest man on earth, or he is a over-the-top stellar con artist. And I'm literally sitting there in front of him trying to determine, are you like a serious manipulative con artist, or are you the warmest, loveliest human being on earth? And I couldn't figure it out, because lots of times you can't. And he said, oh, I've got a new antidepressant that should help you sleep at night as well, and blah, blah, blah. I think my phone was dead when I was there. Anyways, I am leaning across the desk. He's looking at the screen, pretending, or looking at this amazing new antidepressant. And I'm straining. I'm leaning forward and craning my neck, trying to see his computer screen. And big warm smile and flashy white teeth, brown skin, white teeth, just warm and charismatic and just jovial and offering me so much hope. And he says, "Oh, well, wait a minute. I can give you an injection. I've got some in my closet here." And he goes to his big closet, and it's all round full of drugs. And he is trying to talk me into getting this injection of an antidepressant. It would last 3 to 6 months. I can't remember how long this would have lasted. I said, "Oh, wait a minute. I've never heard of an antidepressant that's an injection before." "Oh yeah, it's new on the market and blah blah blah." And I'm like, "Well, I'd have to look into this. I'd have to research it." He goes, "Okay, well, if you don't want to do that, I could give you a prescription for it." Okay, I want to see this new amazing antidepressant where he's hiding it on the screen from me. He's wanting me not to see it. So he calls in the prescription, and I go pick it up, and my phone is dead. And I pick it up from the pharmacy, and I said, what drug classification is this? I said, "It's not an antipsychotic, is it?" Because I know that antipsychotics prescribed for sleep or prescribed for anything are powerful respiratory depressants, and I won't be able to breathe with that. And I told him, if you give me anything, don't give me anything strong, because there's something wrong with my breathing. I can't breathe with drugs. I can't breathe with an antipsychotic or a sleeping pill. There's something wrong with my breathing. And I pick it up and I say to the pharmacist, "This is not an antipsychotic, is it?" And she says, "Yes, it is." And I'm mad as heck. I call him from the pharmacy. They use their phone, and I'm on speakerphone. And I said, "Why would you do this? Why would you do this to me when I explicitly told you that I can't take anything powerful?" And I said, what is wrong with you? There's something wrong with you. Why would you do this? I couldn't have made it more clear to you. And he laughs and goes, "Oh my goodness, I'm so sorry, I made a mistake." He called in another one. So I stood and waited for them to fill the next prescription. I said to her, "It's not an antipsychotic, is it?" And she said, "Yes, it is." I dropped off a letter a few days later, and I said, "There's something wrong with you, and I think you're an actual danger to people." But in reality, this guy could have killed me. I could have had brain damage. I already had severe sleep apnea, severe respiratory depression, an airway issue, and I was already severely sleep deprived. I would have been in an absolute crisis, fighting to breathe, fighting to sleep. And I don't know, I've never done an antipsychotic like that other than for sleep, which I couldn't take. And I don't know if there's any way to reverse that or get that out of your body. But I would have been probably institutionalized. This guy is a literal danger to the community. So when I say, we're sick patients with medical issues, physical medical issues that are being misdiagnosed, we're in danger of psychiatric abuse, psychiatric harm, being accidentally killed by a psychiatrist. This guy's just blatantly not listening to me, didn't care, didn't believe a thing I said. But you don't know that because it's this warm, big, charismatic smile, this total con job, right? Lies right to my face. Is it an antipsychotic? No, it's not. It's an antidepressant. Oh. It's so disgusting. Anyways, I've run out of time here. Please pray for me. Please pray that somehow this doctor has gotten surgery for me somehow. Please, because I can't go on like this.